Hi, I'm Leslie. Welcome to Better Balance for Life. One of the back-breaking chores of life can be making that bed. So watch what's coming up next and I'll show you how to do it without breaking that back. Hope to see you in one of my classes very soon. Check out my website for more information. Hello and welcome to my bedroom. Okay, so I thought it would be appropriate, rather than trying to show you how to make a bed when I'm not near a bed, I'd actually bring you in here and show you actually what I do to make my bed so it is not a back-breaking chore. Now, my chest of drawers behind me, I've put a white sheet on it purely so because they're dark. If I stand in front of it, you can't see my legs real well, so I thought if I put a white sheet there, I'm not trying to hide anything. I just need you to be able to see my form a little better. So obviously you always want to go for the corner that is the hardest, so the largest piece of furniture up against that bed, because that is the hardest part to do, is to get in and under when you've got something obstructing you and you can't get right into that corner. So we always want to go into that wide squat position. So I think I will need to just drop the camera just a little. And so I'm going to come into that nice wide squat position. So this is what I look like front on. And I'm going to push that bottom back so I'm not loading through those knees. Super, super important. Then this is where we want to use the biceps rather than back. So that rounded out position that you usually end up in to make the bed. Remember, you don't need to lift the bed super high to get the sheet under. The sheet's only tiny. For some reason, and I watch people do it, watch my son do it, he needs to lift the bed to the ceiling to get the sheet under. You don't. You only need to lift it up enough just to get the sheet under. And I'm not quite sure why we all do that, but I've discovered that I do. So wide squat position, I'm going to brace myself up against the bed as well. Now, you want the elbows in here. So I'm going to get my sheet, which I've already laid out ready so you don't have to watch me do the whole thing. And I'm going to get that corner. Before I do anything, before I do any lifting, I'm going to slide that corner on and make sure it's where I want it to be. So here is the difficult part, the lifting. Bottom out, elbows in. So I'm going to brace this arm against that leg so that when I lift, I'm actually using this part of my body rather than the back. So all I've got engaged here are my legs, my glutes, and my arms. Nothing in that back. So shoulder blades, tuck them in. Super, super, super important here that you tuck the shoulder blades in when you go to lift. That way, none of the weight of the bed is going to end up in the lower back. It will all end up in the muscles and not the joints of the body. So, excuse me, I'm going to turn my head away from the camera for a moment. So I'm just getting that into place. I'm going to get both my hands in here because probably like yours, mine is thick and heavy. And I'm just going to lift it a little. So I've got my arm braced on my leg and I'm going to tuck that under. Job done. As you can see, I didn't hardly lift it at all. I just tucked it under. So let's go to the other corner. So welcome to the other corner of the bed. All right, so let's go. Getting that into position, pulling it over. I'm not going to worry about any of this stuff yet. We'll finish that off at the end because it's not important. It's just getting those corners into place and then worrying about the rest afterwards. So I'm going to pull that corner over, but now I'm going to go to the other difficult side of their bed, which is that one there, because again, I have obstruction next to that bed head, which is going to cause issues if you leave that till last. But I'm sure you guys have figured all of this out. Okay, other difficult side of the bed, the other end at the top end. So again, bracing that body. Take your time getting into position to do your chores. Don't rush them. That's actually how you end up injuring yourself. And as you get older, you've got to take that little bit more time to prepare yourself for what you're about to do. That way you can avoid tweaking those older injuries, re-aggravating things that you may have wrong in your body. So again, I'm going to have to turn my head away from you. I'm sure you won't mind. Please excuse my bottom. So obviously you want to get the end, pull it over as much as possible, pull it down. Okay, so I'm just tucking it down. I'm not doing any lifting. I've just taken it to the end of the bed so that it's now nice and straight on the top. Now I need to lift that bed. So again, wide squat position, push that bottom out. Bottom out, bottom out, bottom out. Elbows in. So now all that weight that I've got is in my glutes and my thighs and my biceps. So I'm going to lift, I'm going to put the weight there. Excuse my head. Now I'm just tucking that sheet under. Done. That's the top end done. So now let's finish off the other two corners. Okay, excuse my back, excuse my butt in your face. So now I've got the sheet. Once you've washed them, you know they get that little bit tight. I've already tucked it over that corner before we left. I haven't tucked it under yet, but I've just made sure it's straightened out. So I'm going to get this wide squat position, and I'm actually going to just lean back, elbows in, and pull on it so I've got a little bit more of that sheet to work with. I'm going to tuck it under. I'm not going to do any lifting until I absolutely have to. Wide squat position, lift it up a tiny little bit. As you can see, I'm using my bicep there, and I've tucked that under. Done. Right, let's go and finish off the other corner. Here we are at that last corner. Remember, we don't want to worry about what the sides are doing at this point. We're just going to gently tuck those under. I'm not even going to lift the bed. We're just going to shove them under to get rid of them. Because it's a chore, and I think it's a chore that most of us really don't enjoy because it's actually a hard work. But if you use your muscles rather than your joints, you're just going to make it so much easier. And again, it's an exercise opportunity to work those muscles, and after you've regained that little bit of strength, I surely do not expect people, brand new people, to actually be able to get into that position. It would be unrealistic. But over time, with persistency and consistency, you will get that little bit more strength and flexibility to enable to get your body into that position. But if you keep the basics in your mind, so again, tucking those shoulder blades in before you lift. Number one, really important before we lift, push or pull, anything at all that we engage these. Again, that's so we use the rest of the muscles properly and not that lower part of the back. Okay, so getting into that wide squat position again, got to make sure I've got the end of it, because if we pull it from here, it all ravels up, as you know, and it becomes very annoying. So down we come. Again, if you need to, pull it. Wide squat position, elbows in, give it a pull. Get as much sheet as you can. All right, push the bed over a little bit so I've got a little bit more room. All right, wide squat position. I've now got my right arm on my right leg, okay? And I'm now going to tuck that under, pull it through, and done. Bed done. Beautiful. All done. And then going to just finish off by tucking those ends in. But it's those corners that create the issue for you. So there we go, making a bed without breaking your back and making it an actual exercise, because it is. By the time you're finished, you know, you've got the heart rate's up a little bit and you feel like you've done something. But what we don't want to do is we don't want to use those joints. So simple, tuck those shoulders in, wide squat position, bottom out, don't load your knees, elbows in with everything where you lift. Shopping bags especially, never lift with that straight arm. So thank you everyone, that was how to make a bed without breaking your back. I hope you enjoyed that everyone. Make sure you press that subscribe button on your screen so you don't miss a thing. Have a great day and I hope to see you very soon.